welcome to another episode of Shine the Light. And today we have Lexi DeConti. And thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I looked at some of your work and you are definitely detail oriented.
Yes, I really like more and more working really detailed, especially as I've gotten into watercolor. Lots of tiny things.
Yeah, I was watching your tiny watercolors and your movement of the brush and filling out the space, but also like, yeah, you're super detailed. It's really cool.
Yeah, I love making videos. It's kind of hard to find a good setup. I'm still working on that to actually film myself painting, but it seems like people really like seeing the process. So I've been working on that.
I was looking at the one where I think there was a person in it, but you were also like, you just started doing the little bricks in the interior of the building, and you did. I think it started by you doing a bottle. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It might be in the sketchbook that I have. I don't know. I had one that I videoed recently of a trip I took years ago to Portugal, and that could have been it. But I also did one recently filmed where I went out to Western Mass. A lot of the time they're inspired. It's a travel journal I keep. So those ones are kind of fun to see because I get really detailed.
Oh, this one said Mass Mocha.
Okay, yeah, that was we took a little weekend trip out to Western Mass. So I actually have that sketchbook with me, so we can look at it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you started into art?
So basically, I mean, I've always been interested in art and creative stuff, but I originally was thinking I would be doing more writing, stuff like that. In college, I started out taking more English classes, and I ultimately was an English major with a creative writing focus.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Colby College in Maine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But I started taking art classes. I mean, I had done art in high school, but I never really felt that I found or figured out exactly. I was always creative, but didn't click with me exactly what I was good at. And then in college, I kind of found out more just how to find my own style and be creative as I started taking art classes sort of just for fun. And ended up minoring in art, which was awesome. And while I was there, I did mostly printmaking in addition to art history classes that I took as well. But the printmaking was like my studio art focus, which was something that I had done a little bit in high school before, but I really got a chance to get into it in college because the classes were so small and I basically had unlimited access to the studio, the printmaking studio. So that was all really a great experience, and ended up, as I said, minoring in it, participating in the senior art show. And during that show, I actually got a prize. And so some of my prints are hanging in the library at my college, hopefully forever.
Who are you finding are the predominant people that are purchasing or, reaching out to you about your art?
It's, I think, a lot of word of mouth that I get contacted about. So now that I have an Etsy shop and post on Instagram, pretty much everything I make, I'm doing more like custom sort of commissions. People have contacted me about doing custom watercolor maps. A lot of people want pet portraits, which I've done digitally as well. And then also house portraits, especially around the holidays. I got a lot of inquiries about those. I recently did a boat portrait. So cool. People, I think the people who I hear from a lot, word of mouth, or find me on Instagram and are looking for something that's custom, often a gift, which I really like doing. It's very fun, I think, to make something that people will really enjoy and be sort of surprised by, probably as a gift. So
struck me as interesting about you that I share in a weird way. So I do art, and that's not what this is about, but about
Yeah.
the journey of art and what people do. And I was an English major,
Okay.
and I just didn't like it. So
Yeah.
I switched to, I stopped going to school for a while, and I was like, oh, I'll
Okay.
just do it. And I finally was like, I'll just do art. But I thought that it was interesting that you were an English major, but
Yeah.
yet you pushed the art minor.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I didn't go to an art school. I mean, Colby has a really nice art department, but it's not
Mm.
an art school. So I
Yep.
didn't go to college thinking, oh, I'm definitely going to study art. But then when I started taking the classes kind of just for fun, I ended up having so many credits, it eventually evolved into being an art minor.
Mm.
So it's nice. It was really nice to have both. I mean, I I think there are ways to sort of incorporate both, especially when I do journaling and stuff. Some of the English skills come through. It's always good to be a good writer.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah, that's awesome. So
yeah.
how are you finding your, passing your time or getting your craft out during COVID? Is
Well,
that posting?
yeah, it's interesting because I really wasn't doing any of this publicly before COVID so much. I had been doing a lot of art at home. I first started learning calligraphy because I wanted to do my own. I just kind of always thought I'd be good at it. Wanted to do my own wedding invitations, which I did, and then postponed the wedding, so I'll be doing them again. Um,
So
and
you were going to get married during COVID.
yeah, we got married in a small ceremony, having the wedding hopefully post COVID this summer, we hope. But yeah, our wedding was planned for August.
Wow.
Uh,
Well,
so
so where are you living now? Do you live in Quincy?
Quincy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
is that where you grew up?
No, I didn't, but my husband did. I'm from the North Shore.
Oh, where in the North
Yeah.
Shore?
Boxford.
Okay. I've never been to Boxford, but cool.
It's a really, really small, remote sort of rural town, but it's right next to like Danvers, Ipswich, some of those other towns,
Mm.
near Salem. As I started saying, like I didn't really start publicly posting till it was just one of those things that you have so much time on your hands all of a sudden with the pandemic. So while this year was awful in so many ways, it was sort of like a silver lining was that I started posting more, and it's so great. Getting more engagement on Instagram leads to just meeting interesting people I found, whether
Hmm.
they be locally or just people all over the place that are also artists or just love seeing people's work. So I had no idea. I hadn't really thought. I've been in Quincy for nearly 4 years, I think 4 years this summer, and didn't even know that there's something like this. So it's really a cool discovery.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is to bring people that have passions and, bring them together and help build the community so people can, get their stuff out there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You said you had a book with you that you could show us. Is that true?
Yeah, I have my sketchbook, which I don't have too much in right now because I started a new one. But
Yeah.
I'll flip it over because I'm on vacation. But
Where
I
are
was
you?
at Florida.
Oh,
Um,
wait a second. Everybody watching. So you are taking your time during vacation and you are checking in with us. And you know what?
yes.
I think that when you're passionate about something, you just do it. And I think that that's kudos to you for like, taking your time. So we appreciate it. And
Oh, thank you.
it's
I was
awesome.
excited. I'm happy to take a little break. I mean, I have a pretty good view, so you
Oh,
know.
that's disgusting.
Sorry.
Where in
um,
Florida are you?
Naples,
Oh, nice.
like southern Florida on
Yep.
the Gulf.
Perfect.
So this is, I think maybe what you saw. I did a sketch from when we went to Western Mass. So I had like a little like hour, not hour by hour, but like I kind of walked through my day and little detailed stuff. And I'll show you that I'm doing the same thing for here. I just started it, and it's like it's kind of messy, and just, I don't like to spend too much time on them, these in particular, because I am really just trying to capture the memories. But I tape it out so that when I rip off the tape, it looks like this, which is very cool. I think it's really pleasing to
I
have
think
those clean lines.
I think it is. You're like, you don't want to spend that much time on it. You were spending a ton of time on it. Are you kidding me?
Well,
It's
yeah,
so, it's very, you're very particular, but it's cute. Look, can you
yeah,
go to that other page for a
exactly.
second?
Sorry?
Can you go back to that other page
Yes.
and go to that coffee cup?
The coffee. Oh yeah.
That's what I was watching you,
Yes. I must have,
shadow in the gray.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I
Yeah,
think,
multiple layers there, as you can
mm,
see.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and then
So,
the bricks you mentioned. That's exactly what it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually,
Yeah. I mean, they don't
go
take,
below the bricks, the cosmic latte. That's where I was talking about the lines in the corner.
yeah.
That's what I
It's
was talking
really a
about.
cool, that's a really cool exhibit that I tried to capture. I mean, it's impossible, but it is
Mm.
very cool. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't take me no time, but you can see it's like a little messy, which I like.
Looking at this, my thought is, um, how cool would it be if you journaled for somebody else?
I know, I actually, people have asked me if I would do that. So I have
Ah,
thought about that. I think it would be, um, I guess I would just have to get a good like system down, asking them to kind of give me a picture of each thing they wanted, because I think it could be cool as a print or something like that, for
I think
people to have or to give as a gift.
a wedding
And
gift.
it's similar to, I have done custom maps, which are a similar idea. And those are on, I have some on my Instagram grid as well. But basically, like, people will request a couple places that are important, or I mean, the one I did, but one of my favorites I did had their family's boat in the water, and had their wedding venue, and then a couple other significant places.
Mm.
And they're just so much fun. And another fun thing about things like that is you can kind of go back and forth with people, and sort of like refine the idea so they feel like they're a part of it.
I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
I think that it would be so say, my thought is you go to a wedding planner, and then you just got married, so you know what it's all about.
Yes.
But you go to a wedding planner and you take your art and you say, I'd like to, maybe have this somehow in the package where they send you 10 pictures of the places they visited that mean something. They have to take a picture together. And
Yeah.
then you do a 10-page book, and then you give it to
Oh,
them.
that's a cool idea.
And then
Yeah.
you can have it would be something that wouldn't be a far reach because they're already documenting it. But imagine
Right.
who has that? Nobody
Yeah,
else
it's like
has that.
way more unique. And that's why I love like my own little book, because it's so much more fun to look back at this than to look at my camera roll of the iPhone pictures I took. So I think it's like, that idea is really appealing to people, because it's just, yeah, it's just like a more unique way to capture memories, which I
Yeah.
love.
I, I,
And
I think
yeah,
it's so cool. I,
yeah, so I'm trying to maybe incorporate that more into what I do for other people. I really just started with the journaling fairly recently, and I don't remember what spurred it. I think I was just like seeing a lot of similar stuff on Instagram and thinking that's something I wanted to try. And it was kind of hard to get going on it during the last year, because like I hadn't really been doing anything other than hanging out inside my apartment. So any chance that I could to kind of like, even if I went for a walk locally, I have one of Quincy that I did. I just went for a walk on Wollaston Beach and took a bunch of pictures, and then just made a sketchbook spread. So you kind of have to these days look for inspiration just about anywhere.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think as I mean, what do I'm just a fool, but like a business venture, I would say that it would be a super cool gift for someone who got married and be like,
Yeah.
oh, journaling for weddings or something, or journaling for honeymoon journaling.
Oh yeah, that's true. There you
So
go.
so you got your honeymoon journaled, and everybody has these little, memories, but there's something cuter and more personal when
Yeah.
it's you're like, well, I just kind of jot them down. It's like you're very detailed and but deliberate, and it's like
Yeah.
that would be really different. It would be a different gift that you probably could get some value for yourself out of it.
Yeah. They're so much fun to make. I love them. It's one of my favorite things that I've been doing recently.
Mm.
So, I mean, as you can see, I'm doing it on vacation. So, so that's the one that I did. There's I like to write like different, this one actually goes through the whole weekend because we went out to dinner and then museum, these different things. And sometimes I write little details like which artists, some of the artists we saw at the museum, um, different places, what I thought, even what I thought about, or what some of my favorites were, where we ate. So this one was actually pretty comprehensive. Mostly, I
Mm.
think, because it was the first time I had been anywhere in about a year.
I got a question for you. Before
Sure.
you dip into the watercolor or the ink to kind of make your palette or
Yeah.
your guidelines for what your sketch is going to be, are you penciling first?
Yes. So I have my pencil, which I do first, and then
You
I
just use,
do,
you're just using a mechanical pencil?
yeah, I just have a mechanical pencil. I have like some other ones too, but since I'm traveling, I just use this so I don't have to sharpen it. Very
I always,
fancy
I always,
stuff.
yeah, I always feel like the mechanical pencils snap. They're pain.
Yeah, just keep it really low.
Yeah. Well, obviously
Um,
you're doing
and
so
then
cool.
I use these, which are waterproof. So
Yep.
you can just go right over it with watercolor. And then I use more professional watercolor sometimes, but for traveling, I think it's a cute little, adorable little thing.
Hmm.
It's just great.
So cool. Good job.
Yeah, it's really fun. So I just started the other one, but I'm like, as you can see, I go down with a kind of a base color first, and then I'll gradually add in some more layers.
I actually like the when you're up by the Sanibel, you're writing there. I like that faded out blue from
Yeah,
dark.
I'm
It's a nice
trying to make it
blend.
look like the water. You know how they kind of have like a tropical water down here.
Yep.
So
It's
it's
cool.
in progress. It's kind of ombre looking. Yeah, so I'll fill these 2 pages probably with different things that we saw in Sanibel, and then I'll keep going while
So
I'm here.
I have a question for you. What would
Sure.
have been one of your most memorable art experiences and something that really got you fired up about being an artist?
Oh,
Did
that's an interesting question.
like what
Um,
made you um choose it? Because it's very deliberate to make art. You actually have to have like a passion, but you also have to have a follow through. Like you have a plan with this book. You have a plan with your calligraphy. You have a plan. And what made this happen for you?
um, what did I'm trying to think like if there was a specific moment. Um, I think what really happened for me was um when I started posting. I think I was like afraid to post my work publicly for a long time. Um, just I don't know. You're just self-conscious and don't feel like anyone wants, or you kind of worry no one wants to see it, or what's the value that you're adding. There's a million people on Instagram. I was kind of late to the game. I think for me, just hearing from other people saying they liked it, because when you do art just for yourself, you might like it, but you don't, I don't know, which is great. You should like it and you should do art for yourself. But hearing from other people is really motivating, I think. So I think when I started really posting more, and I don't have a huge following, but just like having people who I can tell are responding a lot when I post things, and I can tell that people really like it, that's motivating to me, because it's nice to have an audience for your creative work, I think. So I don't think there was like a one moment. I think it's been kind of a gradual thing over the past year, especially, where I've just realized like I really like doing this. I really like sharing it. I even like the creativity and kind of like deciding what to make and seeing what people like and what people are interested in buying and things like that. And just over time getting requests from people to do work is really, it's always kind of a pleasant surprise, just because this wasn't really my original intended path, but more and more, I think getting interest from people is just exciting.
How do people find you?
My Instagram or my website are the two best places. It's LexiMayde, LexiMayde. That's because my middle name is May. And on my, and it's just .com for my website. So LexiMayde.com. And both of those have links to my Etsy shop and any other relevant information, and my email, and everything's there.
What has been your most successful work so far?
Do you mean in terms of like being posted on Instagram, or
One that people, yeah, just one that's
yeah.
generated the most interest, however.
Well, the interesting thing, and so when you have a business Instagram, you can see what's your most popular posts, and I look at it every once in a while, and I've done like kind of doodles on envelopes, just like floral, not even calligraphy, like the other side of the envelope, floral doodles, things like that. And those have gotten so many likes, and I've gotten reshared by accounts like the Paper Source and things like that a few times. And for some reason, those are always a hit. And then I think second to that are some of the travel illustrations I've done in my journal.
Well, it was really great talking to you, and so reach out, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. This is LexiMayde. Check her out on all her socials, and check out her crazy good art. And yeah, it was really nice talking to you, and I appreciate you. We appreciate you taking your time while you're down.
Absolutely, this was a pleasure.
Naples. Jealous.
I know, I'm feeling lucky. Yes.
Well, you have a great day, and we look forward to talking to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.